So let's talk about why you're having a hard time relaxing. Did you not know that when you are leaving a narcissistic relationship, your body is no longer having to be in that fight mode or on that intensity level of, I have to be on the go in order to keep this person pleased? This was one of the things that I faced, was dealing with having an issue of not being able to relax, not being able to watch TV, not being able to come home right after work and being able to just sit down. I always felt like I had to be on the go. And honestly, I didn't realize that I was dealing with that until one day my husband, when I got remarried, was like, why are you always on the go? Do you not realize like you're always doing something? And I had to stop and ask myself why. Sitting down sometimes will cause you to think of things. It will cause you sometimes to have to deal with problems, deal with the things that you maybe have dealt with. So your body is in this mode of, if I keep myself busy, then I don't have to deal with the problem. And so that can be one reason. Another reason is because you have been in this toxic relationship, and most of the times when you're with a narcissist, they're always nagging, they're always trying to complain, they're always trying to give you things to do. They may not even allow you to sleep or even relax because of the drama, the things that you feel. And some people, they even afraid to sleep or relax around the person because of the behaviors that they have experienced from this person. So it puts them in a position of relaxing equals trauma. And so now that you're not in this relationship, you literally have to practice literally relaxing. You have to practice relaxing. You have to give yourself permission to relax, give yourself grace and peace, and be gentle with yourself in the process of learning how to relax. I literally was talking to two people today, and it's crazy that they both said something. One of them was like, she feels basically convicted, which I later told her that's condemnation, but she was feeling convicted to sleep. She was feeling convicted to watch movies. She was feeling convicted to scroll on her phone. And I told her, as the Holy Spirit led me, was that it wasn't conviction, it was condemnation. It was the enemy that was trying to keep her in the mode of what this person had did and what this person has said, because she wasn't really able, from my knowledge, was able to relax around this person. And then I get on another call with another client, and she was telling me the same thing. She was just like, hey, like, I don't know how to relax. Like, I come home from work and I'm constantly on the go. I'm on the move. It's because your body is trying to deal with it through you doing something. Have you ever sit there and took a moment to just sit down and relax, and then now you may feel sad, you may feel emotional? This was some of the ways that I felt when I literally would sit there and relax. So because I didn't like that feeling, I would keep myself going. But also was tied to when I was with the narcissist, one of the things he'd be like, well, if you got time to sit, you got time to clean. You got time to sit, you got time to clean the ceiling fans. You got time to do the borders. You can clean the door, meaning the door that you go in and out of from inside and outside. You can clean the door. There's always something to do. So I always found myself after that relationship finding something to do, because that's what was installed in me. You have to understand that demons don't want you to have peace. They don't want you to have rest. They don't want you to be comfortable. So their job is to kill, steal, and destroy. And one of the things that they do when you leave this relationship is get you to be on edge at all costs. So as soon as you relax, you may start having thoughts. You may start having thoughts, if I could clean this, I can do this, I can do that. And you start thinking like, well, I don't need to relax. So you get up and you start doing these things. What you don't realize is that that was a tool of the enemy, because he don't want you to also to deal with what's really there. And you don't sometimes realize what's there until you had time to sit and relax. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to, practice relaxing. As soon as you come home from work, you may want to take your shower, and you may want to relax for 30 minutes to 45 minutes to maybe even an hour. Push your phone away, choose not to have the phone in your hand, and choose to relax. Relaxing is a choice. You may want to play praise and worship music. You may want to put on a movie. You may want to watch a sermon. Whatever you feel led to do, do it. And make sure that your phone's not in your hand. You're not answering emails or texts. You allowing yourself to practice relaxing. Shut down those thoughts by binding, casting it out, and rebuking it, and say, no, I'm going to relax this first hour. If you feel like maybe an hour is too much, maybe try 30 minutes and let that be the practice when you come home from these long days of work. I'm here to tell you, even if you have children, there's been times where I told my children, listen, I'm relaxing. I'm reading this book right now, because that's also a form of relaxing. I'm reading this book right now. I don't want to be bothered for the next 45 minutes. If it's not an emergency, don't bother me. and I shut the door. And it's okay to do that, because you have to give yourself permission to relax, because when you was in that relationship, you didn't have permission to relax. You couldn't relax. You couldn't relax mentally, physically, emotionally, and for some of y'all, sexually. And so now that you have this time to relax, give yourself permission, give it to God, invite God into your atmosphere, and I promise you, you will begin to see a different outcome. So some of you have been wondering, why haven't I been able to relax? This is why. It's because you're not used to it, and it's because you have to undo what the narcissists have done. Be blessed.